What is going on, YouTube? It is all things Mets, where you get your latest Mets media. Hopefully, everybody's feeling good, guys. This is a pre-game live to the Mets and Rays game, guys. We got the Mets, we got the Rays, we got Christian Scott's debut, guys. This is huge, huge, huge. Christian Scott is going to be debuting today. Christian Scott has been on a roll for AAA, man. What is going on, Yuki? How you feeling? How you feeling? Man, how you feeling, man? This is a big day for the Mets. I feel like Christian Scott, this is, his time. This is his time to show what he is, what he's going to be for this team. And if he has a really good start, he's going to really be put into the fold when it comes to this rotation. And he's going to have to do a lot of things. What is going on, Darren? Darren, how you feeling? Darren, what's going on? Man, how are we feeling about the Mets right now? I know yesterday's game was a tough game. It was a blow. It definitely was a blow for the Mets. But the Mets came back, but they just came back and they did what they always do. They come back and then they lose. That's what the Mets do, man. The Mets do that so many times. But how's everybody feeling, man? Life is good when Hauser's moved to the bullpen. Yeah, I'm so happy that Adrian Hauser, well, he's going to be moved to the bullpen for this 6-man rotation turn. So just for this turn, he's going to be moved to the bullpen. Now, if Christian Scott performs, he is going to be definitely in the fold for this rotation. He is going to be definitely taken serious. And the Mets are going to have to really think about Adrian Hauser and what they do with him. And when it comes to the rotation, Quintana, not a good start last night. Really disappointing start from Quintana. They lost the game. But Quintana, giving up 8 runs, that is inexcusable. Inexcusable to the Tampa Bay Rays team who was 14-18 going into this game. So when it comes to the Mets, the pitching has to be better. But the hitting, the offense, yesterday, I'm not concerned with the hitting on the road because I think the Mets are a better road hitting team. And you see what the Mets did yesterday. They were down so many runs and then they came back. So, man. But how we feeling, guys? Let's take a look at the lineup today. We got Nimmo, guys. Nimmo's leading off. Nimmo's been hitting better. And I'm glad to see that Brandon Nimmo's hitting better, honestly. And then you got Starlin Marte. Starlin Marte, has been good this season. Hopefully gets a hit today. And then you got Lindor. Lindor's been pretty good lately. He's been hitting the ball a lot lately. I'm glad to see Lindor actually hitting the ball a lot, and being a little clutch for this team. And then you got Alonso. Alonso, man, with a batting average of 220. Randy, here's the starting pitching rankings. Number 1, Sevy, Budo, Scott. All right, let's take a look at that real quick. Let's see here. Randy, here is the starting pitching ranking. We got 1, we got Sevy, we got Budo, we got Scott already. Number 3, Quintana, 4, and Manaya. Man, so far, I really think that Quintana has not looked good. I know he had a pretty good start, hit 2 starts ago and, pitched 8 innings and only 1 run ball. But this start to the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday was very disappointing for the New York Mets. And honestly, it's not what you wanted to see when it comes to the Mets. So I think when it comes to Quintana, he is a question mark in this rotation right now, and he has to do better. He has to. You're going to go a 14-18 team, and you're going to give up 8 runs? Oh, my goodness, man. But when it comes to the Mets got to do better. The Mets got to win games. The Mets got to beat these Tampa Bay Rays. This is a big series for the Mets. They got to tread water at least until Kodai Senga comes back. And Kodai Senga's not going to be back to late May, early June. So we got to win games, guys. The Mets got to win games. I had a solid what's it called? I had said on CP stream yesterday that in a series against the Cubs, Beatty had hit a few deep balls that went foul. Last night he hit 2 homers. You're right about that. That's a great point. Great point by you, Darren. I feel personally Beatty is coming around. I feel like Beatty is going to come around. He has to get that confidence back. That confidence is something that Beatty, when he has that confidence, he can be a really good player. And yeah, he did pull the ball. He did get a lot of some foul calls there, but good to see Beatty hit home runs. Great to see Beatty hit home runs. How you feel about the Mets? Lane, what's going on, Lane? I feel like the Mets got to win games. The Mets have to win games, guys. This is a big, big series for the Mets. And, losing the first game, not a great thing. Not a great thing for the Mets. Not what you wanted to see when it comes to the Mets first game. Yuki saying, when will Pete Alonso get out of this funk? Well, he had a base hit yesterday, but it was like a bloop hit. Like, I don't know when Pete Alonso is going to get out of this funk, man. But, I personally think this series he might break out just because he's in Tampa, his hometown. So, but when it comes to the Mets, guys, this is a big, big game for the Mets. We got Christian Scott debuting. How are we feeling about Christian Scott? I am excited about this kid. I think the Mets are excited about this kid. They love his makeup. They love his attitude on the mound. They love what he is bringing to the Mets so far. And I think when it comes to the Mets, Christian Scott, he has to perform. I hope he performs. I hope he strikes out so many Tampa Bay Rays. Let's see. Lane said, do you move Adrian Hauser to the bullpen for the Mets? I think Adrian Hauser definitely should be moved to the bullpen for now. I think they're going to move him to the bullpen for this turnaround with a rotation, with the 6-man rotation, just for this turn, though. They didn't say that they're going to commit to Adrian Hauser in the bullpen, but it just shows you that the Mets, when it comes to Adrian Hauser, they see what we see. They see that Adrian Hauser is struggling, so they're obviously going to make a move, and it's good to see. It's good to see that the Mets and the front office are thinking about how the team, like us, they're thinking how we are thinking. We see that Adrian Hauser is struggling, so why would you have him in the rotation? So good to see that the Mets front office is making the changes that they need to make. We'll see. Do you prefer to pitch in front of the family or friends? That pressure would make me pitch poorly. I think some people really want that pressure. Some people really want family and friends around. Obviously, you want your family and friends. You've been working your whole life, to be a major leaguer, So I think when it comes to Christian Scott, it's good to see that his family is going to be there. I think Christian Scott deserves this moment, and I hope he performs. He's going against a Tampa Bay Rays team that looked really good yesterday against Quintana, but has been horrible. Randy Arozarena has not been good. Yandy Diaz has not been good. Ahmed Rosario has been good. Paredes has been okay. But do you call up Tyler Scott next for the Mets? No, Tyler Scott is not going to be coming up, and not right now. I think he still has he has to develop more. Definitely he has to develop more. But I liked his arm, and I like his arm a lot, but I really like Christian Scott. I am excited for Christian Scott. But I'm going to tell you this, guys, the Mets are not going to have it easy today. They're going against Zach Littell. Zach Littell has been really good. You see the ERA 3.27, but his last 3 games has been really, really good. This guy has been striking out a lot of guys. This guy has been, bringing his ERA down game by game. Did Omar Narvaez increase your approval after tagging? Did Omar Narvaez increase my approval? I'm not going to say he increased my approval. I think that the Mets, I would rather see, of course, Francisco Alvarez in the lineup and as our catcher right now. But the Mets, Omar Narvaez, Tomas Nido, I think this is something that the Mets have to deal with right now. We have to deal with this. We have to deal with Tomas Nito. We have to deal with Omar Narvaez. But did my approval, did that change for Omar Narvaez? No. I think Omar Narvaez has not really thrown out a guy, to steal a base. He hasn't thrown out any guys. He hasn't really been that good. Yes, getting those 2 tag outs was good to see, but that's his job. He's supposed to do that. I'm not gonna say he increased my approval. No, I'm not gonna say that. No. But man, how we feeling about JD Martinez so far? JD Martinez has been striking out a lot and hasn't been looking that good in the previous games. The Mets haven't really been getting on base for Martinez, anyways. But I gotta see something. I got to see the Mets breakout game for JD Martinez. We need to see more for JD Martinez, guys. We need to see more. We need to see more for Alonso. So let's see where Scott should be successful because he walks very few guys and he has strikeout stuff to get out of innings. Yes, I really like his stuff. He has a gyro slider. He throws his fastball at like a low angle and a low release point, and it's really, really good, to see. His problem, Christian Scott, in the minors, has been the home run ball. So whenever they've been hitting home runs against him, but it's hard to even get on base with Christian Scott. He's been really good, but his problem, his Achilles heel, if there is any, it's the home run ball. The Mets just have to keep winning games. Yeah, I agree. The Mets have to keep winning games. They got to stay in the fold. They got to stay afloat. You got teams like the Cardinals. You got the Cubs. You got in the National League. You got the Pirates. You got so many teams that you're gonna have to win games. Cincinnati Reds. These teams, you're gonna have to win games. You're gonna have to stay afloat. Be a competitive team. Especially when Senga comes back. Hopefully when Senga comes back, the Mets are in a better position. At least 500. At least 500. Now, it sucks to say because, this is the Mets, right? This is Steve Cohen's Mets. And the fact that, we have accepted as Met fans that this is just a year that, we just have to stay afloat and get in the playoffs somehow and maybe we'll get hot. It is what it is, but it sucks to see that the Braves are, winning a lot of games and the Phillies winning a lot of games because I personally, my expectation for the Mets is not to get into the playoffs and be a wild card team. I want to win the division. I want the Mets to win the division, but with this team and this pitching rotation, it's not likely. It's not likely. And the Mets offense is not likely, and the injury to Francisco Alvarez really put the Mets back, man. I hate the injury. I hate how it happened. I hate what it has done to the Mets. And I hate that, guys just keep stealing on us. See here, JD Martinez is hitting the ball hard, no cheap outs. Yeah, I think JD Martinez is hitting the ball hard. But he's hitting the ball at guys. Yesterday, he hit a ball right at the third baseman, but it was a liner. It was a line shot. Remember Vogelback as a DH. I get on my knees and thank God for JD Martinez. Bro, I agree with you. At the end of the day, Randy, why the Mets didn't try to get Luis Arraez? Okay, let's talk about the Luis Arraez trade. Luis Arraez got traded to the Padres, from the Marlins, and the Marlins basically punted. The Marlins are done. The Marlins are saying that, you know what? We are punting for the season, and we're going to trade guys, and we're going to get these guys out of here, and we'll try to get something back. When it comes to the Mets, I don't think that the Mets need Luis Arraez. You got, Jeff McNeil. You got Ronnie Mauricio coming. You got Luis Angel Acuna coming. There's no reason to get a Luis Arraez. You got prospects. You got guys. Mauricio will be back. Do not forget about Ronnie Mauricio, please. Please do not forget about Ronnie Mauricio. And don't forget about Acuna has not been great in AAA, but don't forget about Ronnie Mauricio, please. Come on. So I don't think personally we should have gone after Luis Ariz. I don't want Luis Ariz. I think he's a really good hitter, but this year he has not been that good. I don't think that the Mets are going to be wearing the black uniforms and blue uniforms no more. I don't know what's going on with that. I haven't seen the black uniforms. Where are the black uniforms for the New York Mets? The Mets should go 4-2 on this road trip, considering the teams they are playing. The Mets should definitely be beating the Tampa Bay Rays in this series. This is a 15-18 team. And what are we? 16-16 right now? I think when it comes to the Mets got to win games. This is a game that the Mets got to win. I hope that Christian Scott pitches good, but I hope the offense shows up for the Mets. What is the latest on Ronnie Mauricio? Well, Ronnie Mauricio, I don't know. He could be back by the end of the season or next season. That's really the latest. That's really the latest on him. He's walking fine right now, but he has to ramp up. It's going to take him some time, and we'll see what happens. But I personally think you shouldn't have gone after Luis Ariz. I don't think that the Mets should go after Luis Ariz, especially with the infielders that they have. They got Jeff McNeil. Like I said, they got Acuna coming next year, possibly. Acuna has not been looking that good in AAA. Jet Williams has not been looking that good in AAA, and he got injured. Drew Gilbert is injured right now. I really want the Mets to, get Drew Gilbert back because he's been injured most of the season. But big game for the Mets, guys. This is a big, huge game for the Mets. I think when it comes to, Christian Scott is here, baby. Christian Scott, it's Saturday. Christian Scott is here. I am excited that Christian Scott is here. He deserves it. He deserves this moment. This is Christian Scott's moment. Luis Ariz is a good hitter, but poor defensively. Yeah, at the end of the day, Luis Ariz is a good hitter, but this season he did not start on fire. You know what I'm saying? So he struck out a lot, which is weird. Luis Ariz does not strike out much, but he's been striking out a lot this season. Lane, no, Ryan Clifford is not coming up, and Matt Allen is nowhere near close. So when it comes to the Mets, guys, this is a big game for the Mets to win. The Mets have to win this game. This is a huge game for the Mets to win. But how you guys are feeling? How are you feeling? How are you guys feeling right now are you guys excited about Christian Scott? Are you excited about this series so far? And of course, you see Ahmed Rosario, former Met, destroying us because it's a former Met. Every former Met destroys the Mets. Every single former Met. We just can't do good against former Mets. It doesn't matter if it's Travis Darnell. It doesn't matter if it's Justin Turner. It doesn't matter if it's Ahmed Rosario. Anybody that's a former Met kills us. Like, we always get killed by former Mets. But this is a huge game. The Mets got to win this game, man. This is a big game for the Mets to win. I'm happy that Adrian Hauser, is being considered to really go into the bullpen because he hasn't been good. Oh, man, he has not been good. I don't really care. Not excited. Waiting for Senga to come back. We need to tread water. Yeah, we do need to tread water. I'm excited about Christian Scott. I think if he has a really good start, he's gonna be put on that pedestal to be in this rotation, because you got Tyler McGill coming back, you got David Peterson coming back. You know what I'm saying? And Adrian Hauser, if he's not performing, he is not going to be in this rotation. Yes, I am happy about Christian Scott. Yeah, I'm excited. I think Christian Scott deserves this moment. He's been pitching his ass off, man. He's been pitching his butt off. He's been doing everything that he can just to get to this moment. And yes, it is a small sample size in AAA, but the fact that he has superseded, he basically passed Mike Vassell and Dominic Hamill already, and he got called up is crazy to me. But it shows that if you do good, the Mets are going to consider you to come up. Like if Luis Angel Acuna was having a good season, maybe the Mets would have considered him to come up this season. I don't know. Did you hear about second consecutive shutout by the Cyclones with McLean pitching today? Yes. Nolan McLean, I like him a lot. I think he's our cowboy Otani. You know what I'm saying? A guy that can hit bombs, a guy that can pitch pretty good. His RPM of 3,300 slider. My goodness, it's crazy to me, that slider. But when it comes to Nolan McLean, when it comes to guys like Jonah Tong, those are exciting prospects to have. I love that the Mets actually have prospects that are, good pitching prospects. Hopefully that can be major league contributors, in this future, because you need pitching. And the Mets haven't had really good pitching, at least for their prospects, ever since Matt Harvey, ever since Jacob deGrom, ever since, Zach Wheeler. So, yeah. I think that the Mets, we just got to see them perform, and hopefully Christian Scott becomes our future ace. Hopefully. Just imagine a rotation with Kodai Senga, Severino, Christian Scott, Quintana, and then you got probably David Peterson or Tyler McGill or Sean Manaea. At the end of the day, Sean Manaea, he's been pretty okay, right? He's been pretty okay. Yeah, but when it comes to the Mets, guys, I'm excited. The Mets deserve this moment. The Mets deserve it. Sorry, guys. Just have to do something real quick. Sorry, I had to fix something real quick there. Listen, when it comes to the Mets, guys, we got to see the Mets win games. At the end of the day, we got to see them win games. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. Did you see Pete Crow Armstrong using the helmet? Yeah, that was weird. The Pete Crow Armstrong thing, I'm not going to lie to you. What do you guys think about that? That helmet, is that a part of his body? I think when it comes to that situation with Pete Crow Armstrong, it is a part of his body because that's his equipment. It's like the same thing as the mitt. The mitt that they slide. But yeah, they screwed us last week. Yeah, we did get screwed. We definitely got screwed in that game against the Chicago Cubs and the tag. And Pete Alonso not sliding, not knowing how to slide, and for some reason putting his hand up. It made no sense to me. No sense. But yeah, listen. We got to win games, and I think it starts with the pitching, but it starts with the offense. For this team to be successful, we got to, the offense has to come through. We need, for this team, for the 2024 Mets, a team that doesn't even have Francisco Alvarez right now, we need Pete Alonso to be Pete Alonso. and he has been horrible. Like, should we really be concerned with Pete Alonso right now? I think Pete Alonso has not been that good. Mets doing it right, developing pitchers, which is cheaper than the free agent pitching, which has more. Yeah, you're right about that. Definitely right about that. Definitely right about that. Do you sign Juan Soto next year? Well, I think why not? Why wouldn't you go for Juan Soto? Juan Soto is one of the best players there is to ever be, in the league. This guy Juan Soto is amazing. Of course, I would go for Juan Soto next year. But it's either it might be Soto or Alonso. Like Soto or Alonso. I don't know what the Mets are gonna do with Alonso. But if they sign Alonso, are you gonna sign Soto too? I don't know if that's. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think if we extend Alonso, if we get Alonso for like a 7 years, 200 something million contract, I mean, I don't know. And I don't think that Alonso deserves the contract that he wants. Juan Soto left field, Nimmo center field, Marte right field sounds great. Yuki, you're forgetting about Drew Gilbert. You're forgetting about Drew Gilbert. I'm not forgetting about Drew Gilbert. I think Drew Gilbert will possibly be ready next year for this team. So let's not forget about Drew Gilbert, please. I like Marte a lot, but Marte has performed this year. He's been looking good, but he is old. And Drew Gilbert is the future of this team. So let's not forget Drew Gilbert because I like Drew Gilbert a lot. But when it comes to the Mets, the outfield, I don't know, man. I don't know. We need our pitching and our hitting to perform, though. You know. But let's take a back look at this lineup here. We got Nimmo leading off, guys. We got Starling Marte. We got Lindor. We got Alonso. We got JD Martinez. We got McNeil. What do we guys think about McNeil this year? McNeil has been looking awful. I'm not liking what McNeil's doing. I don't like McNeil right now on this team. McNeil batting a 245. That is not McNeil. Jeff McNeil's a 300 hitter. And he's trying to hit the ball in the air so many times. Good to see Bader in the lineup. I'm glad to see Bader. What is the news on David Peterson? Well, David Peterson is doing rehab, but he's looking good. He had a good rehab start. I think it was a couple of days ago. He had like 4 strikeouts. I don't think he allowed a run. He pitched a couple of innings. He's looking pretty good. And then you got Tyler McGill, who's also coming back from rehab as well. So the Mets right now might be in a really good place when it comes to pitching depth. But if Christian Scott pitches good today, he's going to definitely be in conversation to stay in this rotation. And he's going to have to the Mets are going to have to really think about what they do with Adrian Hauser and might have to put Adrian Hauser in the bullpen permanently or DFA him because he doesn't have options. Do you sit Jeff McNeil for the Mets? Well, I think Jeff McNeil brings you so much versatility, so you can't really sit him, and you don't have anybody else that's really good that'll play second base like him. McNeil's golfing too much. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm not like Jeff McNeil golfing. I hope he's not golfing during the season. He better not be golfing during the season. But definitely his swing, you can tell that he's trying to hit the ball in the air. He's trying to hit the ball in the air. And that's not the McNeil that's not the batting champion McNeil from 2022. That's not the batting champion. McNeil's a guy that hits line drives. He finds holes in the infield, that type of stuff. But I personally think ever since that they took off the shift, it's really affected him. So when it comes to the Mets, Jeff McNeil, we got to see a better Jeff McNeil. And we have not seen that from Jeff McNeil. And yes, I personally think he's been golfing way too much and it's affecting his swing. I agree with you. Juan Soto, other than his defense, would be a great addition for the Mets. He has taken the Nats. Yeah, he took the Nats to the promised land in 2019. And I think when it comes to Juan Soto, he's a player you got to try to get. He is a once in a lifetime player. Once in a lifetime. So when it comes to the Mets, guys, I hope we see a better performance, from these guys. I hope we see, the Pete Alonso, JD Martinez, these guys, Lindor, Nimmo, offense. We need offense, okay? We need the offense to show up. We know we're not going to get nothing basically from the catcher. We're not getting nothing from basically Nito. Nito is a guy that he tries to be a good offensive hitter, but he's not. And it's not easy catching and hitting. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but Nito definitely has been a better catcher than Narvaez lately. So I don't know, man. I think that the Mets, we'll see what happens, but let me know what you guys think. Like, how you guys are feeling about this game. Let me know you guys' final thoughts because I'm about to get out of here soon. So. Yeah, I think we need to see this team, you know, really. I'm not concerned with the offense when it comes to the road, because they're a better a road team than home. For the offense, they're way better on the road. Can the Mets win today? I think the Mets should win today. You got Christian Scott on the mound. You got Zach Littell. Zach Littell has been pretty good lately, though. He's been pretty good lately, so I don't know. We'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see, guys. The pitch clock saved baseball. Yes, the pitch clock. I love the pitch clock. I'm so happy that the baseball game is not as slow as it was before. Yes, you're gonna have those long games. Yes, you're gonna have those short games. But wow, when you have a 2 hour and 5 minute game, I'll take that any day. And the Mets had that on Monday. Should baseball remove calling to the bullpen mid-inning? I don't want the baseball, the MLB to really play with the game too much. I don't want them to change baseball too much. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the game. Enjoy the game today, guys. Hopefully it's a great game. I will be watching. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the pregame live. It was good. It was a good to hear you guys' opinions. Good to interact with you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys for being on stream. I appreciate you guys for interacting with me, asking questions. And yeah, man, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Definitely leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and always leave a like on the stream because once you leave a like on the stream, you get the stream out to your to the other people. So Mets baseball, enjoy it. Have a good one. Let's go Mets, baby.